Guys, I'm actually a fucking idiot, okay? I filmed groups A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and I forgot to turn my camera on. So I'm here doing my World Cup predictions. I know this is scuffed, okay? I'm just gonna go through all these again kind of quick, and then I'm gonna finish off the groups and we're gonna go through the knockouts, and it's gonna be fine. But before we go through all that, I want to show you guys something. If you go to my leagues, the Boxer League, if you go to this website called Survive the League up here and you sign in, you can join other people's leagues. You can make your own predictions and join other people's leagues. And basically just compete over them and see who's the most correct. So if you're watching this video, you have any interest in that at all, join my league. As you can see, you're not better than the YouTuber. I'm telling you guys right now, you guys don't have as much ball knowledge as me. I watch the game too much. So I'm telling you, I'm going to beat you. But I think this will be a cool experiment. If you are interested, come to my league and we'll fight it out. We'll see who has more ball knowledge on the World Cup here. But I mean, let's just get to these. I'm actually so pissed. I was on such a roll too. I was on such a roll. I was doing so well, and this shit happens. Whatever. So Group A to start off, I got drawn the first game. I think it'll be very similar to the game in 2010, except with Mexico being like the dude who scores or whatever. And it's like, if they actually do this, if the announcer a goal for all of South America, I'm gonna freak. They're not even in South America. A goal for all of North America. I'm gonna freak the fuck out because what the. So, bro, have you guys seen that clip? I don't know why I'm talking about this. Have you seen the clip of like the announcer or whatever, the dude who I don't know what they're called. It's like from gloom to it was like during the Arsenal celebration when they're lifting the trophy. He was like from gloom to 22 years and now it's doom or something. It was actually so bad. I don't know what the fuck he was talking about. Um, yeah, Mexico draw with South South Africa, and then you got Korea, Czechia. I think this will be another draw. They play very like similar styles of football, I guess, and I don't know. I want to be honest. I don't really watch these two teams very much. I just don't rate Czechia that much. Uh, and then Czechia, South America. I got another draw, another 1-1 draw, or South America. Holy shit, South Africa, and yeah, I think these two teams are just kind of similar in ability. I think Mexico beat South Korea though, just home soil, better team, better defensively. I think Mexico are going to win that. And then Czechia, Mexico, I think that's going to be a draw. And South Korea, I think, are going to destroy South Africa. Actually said it correct this time. Next, moving on to the next group, I got Switzerland in first, Canada in second, Bosnia in third with a -1 goal difference and 3 points, and Qatar in fourth. I got Canada beating Bosnia 2-0. I think Canada are just the better team and are a better, more experienced team in the World Cup. I got Switzerland beating Qatar 4-1. I think Switzerland are going to fucking destroy them. Qatar really only have like one player that's actually good, who is Afram Akif. Wait, am I saying that right? I don't know. My brain is like not working. I literally realized that my fucking is it working or what's the vibes? Okay, good. I just realized that my fucking webcam wasn't working, and I like my brain just filled with anger and negative energy. So like I might not be on it like immediately. Canada, I think, destroyed Qatar, like really all these teams in the groups. I think Switzerland beat Bosnia 2-1. I just think they're a better European side. And then I think Switzerland beat Canada. I think Switzerland go 3-for-3. They do this every tournament. They're just an insane team, but as soon as they get to the knockouts, it gets kind of embarrassing. And then I think Bosnia beats Qatar. Next, we have Brazil Morocco 2-1. I think just Brazil better team. I think this group is very interesting, but I think Brazil's just the better team. I think Scotland's going to beat Haiti 1-0 just because I think they're going to underestimate them a little bit, but I still think they'll win. Next, I have Scotland versus Morocco. I have them drawing 3-3. I just think Scotland, when it comes to like rising to the occasion, I think Scotland usually show up. So I think they'll get a draw and they'll really put Morocco on like the back foot here. But I still think it'll be a draw by the end of the day. Next, Brazil, Haiti. I got Brazil beating Haiti 7-1. Um, I thought this would be a bit crazy, but then I just watched Brazil destroy Panama like 6-2, and I realized the attacking talent on that team is too good. So I think Brazil are going to fucking destroy Haiti. And then I got Brazil beating Scotland 3-1. I think Scotland won't get the first goal, and it'll be like, oh my God, Scotland can do it. And then Brazil are going to get the next three, and it's going to be over. And then Morocco, Haiti, nothing crazy. I think Morocco are going to rotate a little bit. So I think they'll just comfortably win 2-0. Next, Group D. This is a very interesting group, and it was kind of hard to predict these. But I have USA beating Paraguay 1-1. What the fuck? I have them drawing, actually. I don't really trust the USA just yet, even though their recent friendlies have kind of impressed me, like against Portugal and Belgium. In the first half, when we actually had like our A-list squad, we actually looked pretty decent. And then as soon as we started subbing in shitters, it looked kind of embarrassing. But like I just don't trust it yet. I just don't trust it. I don't think the mentality is there yet. I like just recent competitions like the Gold Cup and the Copa America, and I just don't trust it. Even though that was like 2 years ago, I just don't trust it. So I have them having a draw here. Australia, Turkey, I have them drawing as well, just because Turkey probably have the best attack in this group, but Australia probably have the best defense in this group. You know what? I'm giving this a 0, bro. Bro, Australia is so overrated, bro. Australia is so overrated. I'm gonna have Turkey just win this. It doesn't really matter that much, but I'm just have Turkey win. USA, Australia, I think USA has beat them comfortably 2-0. But I can see this going either way. Honestly, I can see Australia winning 2-1, but I just think USA will probably beat Australia. Home soil, better players, better manager, that kind of thing. Turkey, I think, beat Paraguay 3-1. I think Turkey are a very, very good side. Very good attacking talent. But Turkey and Paraguay kind of play very similarly. I think Turkey just play better at it. They're just better at doing what Paraguay can do. So I'm going to say Turkey win that. And then Turkey, USA. This will be a very, very big game. I think Turkey are going to win. I'm going to say 2-1 because I think USA will score. But yeah, I think Turkey definitely win that game. And then Paraguay, Australia, I think Paraguay just win that. And let me save my predictions. Group E. Now, this is a very interesting group. I have Germany first, Ivory Coast second, Ecuador third, Curacao fourth. And the reason, I mean, you're just going to look here, is because Ecuador's offense is so bad. You're going to see it when I do the knockout stages. Ecuador's offense is so fucking horrible. It just is. It's not good. So it's going to be reflected in my results. I have Germany being Curacao 5-1. I don't think anyone's going to argue with that. That's a pretty easy result. Curacao are really bad. Respect for them getting here, but they're just not good. Ivory Coast beating Ecuador 1-0. I think Yan Diomande will get a goal, like a random ass goal, and Ecuador are not going to be able to do anything about it. Bro, even in the 0-0 draws that they have, they don't even look good. They look like the worst team. So I'm saying Ivory Coast are going to get a lucky goal here because every time they have to rise to the occasion, they do. So I'm going to say they beat Ecuador 1-0. And honestly, if I had to give like an underdog of the tournament, I'm giving it to Ivory Coast because that player talent is too good. Ecuador, Curacao, I'm going to have Ecuador winning 1-0. But this could honestly be a 0-0 draw. I just think Curaçao's defense is that bad. So I think that's definitely fair. Germany, Ivory Coast, I think this will be a blockbuster game. I think this will be an incredible game. But I think Germany are going to win 3-2. Ecuador, Germany, I say that's a 0-0 draw. I would honestly not be surprised if Ecuador got like I would not be surprised if every single one of their games was a 0-0 draw. I wouldn't be shocked. And then Ivory Coast, I have them beating Curaçao 4-1. So in total, that means Ivory Coast, Cote d'Ivoire, gets 6 points and make it to the group stage. And I think that's fair. I really think that's fair. That's a crazy result though. Ecuador getting third. Like they're just not that great, bro. They're just really not that great. All right. Next, in Group F, I have Netherlands first, Japan second, Sweden third, Tunisia fourth. It's also a very interesting group because a lot of these teams are coming in, I feel like not feeling that confident. Japan and Netherlands both have a lot of injuries, and Sweden come back off of like a horrible qualifying campaign. Even though they did make the playoffs because of the Nations League and won against Ukraine. I know. I almost cried. God, our team is so bad, bro. The 1 year Zabarni had to be good, bro. The 1 year you had to be good. Shit pissed me off. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, Sweden. They're actually like decent. But I don't think they're like coming to this tournament very confidently. And Tunisia, honestly, like really nothing has happened with that team since the fucking Asian Cup. So I'm having Netherlands and Japan draw this game 2-2. I think they're just both like equally pretty solid teams. I just don't trust Netherlands coach. Sweden, I think, is going to beat Tunisia 2-0. Pretty comfortable win here. Netherlands, Sweden, I think Netherlands are going to win 2-1. Nothing much to say here. It's just better European giant over this European, not even giant, like normal human being. I think I have Japan beating Tunisia 3-1. Very comfortable win for Japan. I have Netherlands beating Tunisia 1-0. And then I have, just because I think Tunisia are really going to like play with pride and Netherlands are going to kind of rotate their squad. And then I also have Japan and Sweden drawing 2-2, just because I think Japan is also going to rotate their squad a lot. So I don't think, I don't think it'll be enough for Sweden to win, but I think it'll be like they rotate their squad a bit too much where they have to draw the game. All right, next, Group G. I'm just going to go through this quick. Honestly, I don't really think any of these teams are important. If you're part of one of these teams, it sucks to suck. I just don't think any of these teams matter. Belgium, Egypt, I have Belgium winning 4-2. It's just which attack is better and which defense is worse. Egypt's offense is worse and their defense is worse. I have Belgium winning 4-2. Iran's going to beat New Zealand 3-0. Honestly, New Zealand might be the worst team at the World Cup. Egypt's going to beat New Zealand 2-1. Belgium's going to beat Iran 2-1. Belgium's going to beat New Zealand 4-1. And then Egypt and Iran, they're practically like around the same level, so I just had them 2-2 draw. But I could definitely see Egypt winning that. Or I could honestly see either team winning that game. And not even finally, because I have to predict these 4 groups. I'm such an idiot, bro. Oh, such an idiot. Fuck. Whatever. Group H. España beating Capo Verde. First off, just look at these standings. I have España first, Capo Verde second, Uruguay third, and Saudi Arabia. Why is there a K, by the way? I don't know what that stands for. Saudi Arabia fourth. I have España beating Cape Verde 2-1. I think Spain is just better team, but I think they're really going to miss Lamine Yamal in that game. Uruguay's going to beat Saudi Arabia 1-0. I don't think either of these teams are good at all. I just think Uruguay has better player talent, so I have them winning 1-0. But I can see the opposite result. I really don't think this game matters that much. Uruguay, Cape Verde, I see that being a draw. I think Cape Verde's really going to surprise Uruguay. And just because Uruguay against like teams that they think they're really worse than or really better than, they usually underperform. Like I remember against that USA game, I feel like there was a feel of snarkiness in the Uruguayan players, and that's why they lost 5-1. You know, they just didn't look good at all. They looked way too overconfident, and I think the same thing is going to happen here. I think Spain are going to beat Saudi Arabia 3-0. I think they're going to get used to the fact that they don't have Lamine Yamal, and they're going to figure it out, and they're going to dominate. And then against Uruguay, I've winning 5-1 just because Lamine Yamal is going to be back, and it's really going to show how good he is because he is like I don't think we realize like no player in the history of the sport has done what Lamine Yamal has done at his age. No player, no player. Won a Euros, won 2 La Liga, got his team to a semifinal and a quarterfinal single-handedly in the Champions League, and could possibly win the World Cup. There's no teenager, 18-year-old, 19-year-old in history who has done what he's done. There was none. And he almost won the Ballon d'Or. So, like Messi, like he wasn't like Messi wasn't even as good. Like at his age. Messi's obviously all-time better. But at his like we don't know how good Lamine Yamal can be. Like we don't. So but that's my predictions for Group H. Now I actually have to fill out the predictions. Wow, that's a lot of fun. You know, I could have wished you guys could have seen it for like the first like 8 groups or whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whatever. France, Senegal. This is a very interesting group, by the way. Honestly, besides Iraq, any of these teams could get first. Iraq aren't even bad. It's just they just really got like unlucky here. France, Senegal though. I'm gonna have France winning 2-0. Ooh, two. I'm gonna have them winning 4-2. I think this will be a high scoring game, but I think France are definitely the better side, and they have just a better offense, defense, midfield. Like I just think they're a better team in general, and I think they're gonna outscore them a lot. But I think Senegal's really gonna try to make it like a which team can score more goals. They're really gonna try to play that game, and but it really like even if they try to play like a defensive kind of game where they just sit back, I think France win that anyway. So I think France win that game easily. Norway, I think this is going to be like a 5-1. I think like Holland and Nusa and Sorloth and all these insane attackers. The attacking talent in Norway is actually insane. I think they're going to fucking dominate Iraq, like genuinely destroying it. And again, not even a bad team. I just think like those players are just that good. And next, I got Norway, Senegal. I think this is going to be a 3-3. I think Erling Haaland, honestly, Erling Haaland might win the Golden Boot just from playing in the groups. He might not even need the knockouts, but that's a story for another day. If you want to talk about a dominant qualifying campaign, you have to look at Norway. Dominated 3-3, or dominated their group, and as much as you want to shit on Italy, Italy probably could have made the World Cup if Bastoni wasn't an idiot. Like realistically, they probably would have. So I don't think Italy are that bad, and the fact that they like actually destroyed them is crazy to me. Like through all of their games, um, and I think they have enough to draw Senegal, maybe even win. But I'm gonna say it's a 3-3 draw. France, Iraq. I'm gonna say this is a classic 2-0. Squad gets rotated, but it doesn't even matter. They just fucking destroy them. Norway and France is interesting. I'm gonna have this being a 2-1 to France, just because I think France's defense is going to be able to lock up Holland. Holland, when it comes to playing against really world class center backs, it's very hard for him to score, but it's very like Holland is very good at just taking both of the center backs and basically getting them out of the game. Like we saw it against Arsenal. When Holland played against Arsenal, Gabriel was non-existent because Gabriel the entire game had to try to be like basically like just try to get Holland out of the game. So Holland is very good at taking out 1 or 2 players. So like Norway gets to play with like a man up, basically. And I think that's what's gonna happen. But I think France's talent is too good to lose to Norway. Like just their offensive talent. So I'm gonna have that being a 2-1, but I could definitely see this being more high scoring. And then Senegal, I think Senegal will win 2-0. But it won't be enough because Norway's obviously gonna have an insane amount of goal difference. Again, classic win. I think they're gonna rotate the squad a bit, but I think Senegal are just gonna beat Iraq. This is also a very interesting group. But I don't think this is interesting because these teams are good, but all right, let's just start. Before I even say anything, let's just start predicting. I think Argentina are going to beat Algeria 2-0. I think Algeria have what it takes to maybe get Argentina to a draw. I think Argentina are going to have like no pressure at all, and I think that's kind of a bad thing for them because they got what they wanted. They got Messi their World Cup. There's none of those players are really proving that much anymore. I think Enzo is really going to try to pop off because I think he really wants that move to Real Madrid. So I think he's really going to try to play well, and he will. So I don't know. I like a lot of those players I feel like are just going to be not encouraged to bring it their all for their national team. And there's not really that many young players on the squad where like they're like, oh, I want to prove myself. Besides Nico Paz. Nico Paz is like the only one. I think Masan Tuono got left out, which is fair. He hasn't been good at Real Madrid. But besides Nico Paz, I don't and Valentin Barco. But Valentin Barco, like I would honestly like I love him. I think he's an incredible player. I think he's been fantastic at Strasbourg. I watched like every Strasbourg game, and he's been incredible. I don't think he's gonna play a single minute at the World Cup, sadly. Maybe in like against Jordan or something. But next we have Austria versus Jordan. Austria are actually a very solid team. I'm gonna go 1-0 because Jordan are also pretty solid, but Austria are a very, very good team. They're very underrated, and I think they beat Jordan. And I think it'll be a very controlled win. Like it looks like 1-0, like it's not close at all. But I think it'll be very or like it's super close. But I think Austria is gonna fucking dominate that game. Next, I have Argentina versus Austria. I'm gonna say this is an insane like 3-2 like thriller. I think that's gonna be an insane game. But I think Argentina is just the better team, more star power, um, better players. I don't, honestly, and I should have mentioned this earlier. I don't think Messi's gonna do anything in this World Cup. I'm gonna be honest. I think he's too old, and I really don't see him doing that much. I think like I love Messi. He's obviously the greatest player of all time, but like realistically, like I just don't think he's doing that much. And bro, I hate the people who say like, "Oh, if Messi was in the Prem right now, he'd be the fucking goat or whatever." No, he wouldn't, bro. He's 40 years old. 40. 40 fucking years. Like that's it. Like he's not that good anymore. We just have to accept the fact he's not good anymore. Which is true. If we watch the Club World Cup, this guy was fucking horrible. The only game that he actually played well was against FC Porto. Fucking Porto, bro. Rodrigo Mora looks good at Porto. That guy's horrible. Um, and then Algeria, Jordan. I think this will be a good game, but I think it'll be a 3-1 Algeria. I think Algeria are going to get like their first win and really dominate that game. Jordan, Argentina. I think this will be a 5-1 Argentina. I think they're going to rotate, but I think they're like this is where Valentin Barco would probably play. But I think their young talent is just so good that it's going to be Jordan. And I think that's what's going to happen. And then Austria, Algeria. I'm going to give Algeria the win. I'm going to say 3-2 just because Algeria are like they hate Austria. I don't know what, I don't know why, but they fucking hate Austria. So I'm gonna assume Algeria win that game 3-2 just because of the hatred alone. Hopefully Austria make it out of the groups because they're like that would be probably one of the worst teams to not or one of the best teams to not make it out of the groups. All right, Group K. Let's get it. I think before we even talk about this group, I think Uzbekistan is one of the most underrated groups going into this tournament, or one of the most underrated teams going to this tournament. And I think they're a great team, and I love Uzbekistan. Super fun to watch. Um, I'm filming this at what time is it? 6:30. I will be staying up to watch the uh, Uzbekistan Canada friendly. I will be staying up. It's absolute. It's absolutely gonna happen. Uzbekistan, Colombia, though. I'm going to give it a 2-1. I think Colombia, like, in this weather, which is going to be very, very nice weather, they're going to be very used to it. And I think Colombia are going to cook this tournament. So I don't even like Colombia that much, but I really think they're going to be on it this year. I don't know why. I really, like, the problem is Colombia just go off vibes too much. Like, they try to vibe out the game too much. It's like if their players don't want to play that day, they're gonna get swept like 3-0. But if Luis Diaz is like, yo, I'm lucky feeling good today, they're gonna win like 5-1. It doesn't matter who they're playing. They're gonna fucking dominate. So they have the potential to be good, but it's all up to like if their players even feel good that day. Portugal, DR Congo. I'm gonna have Portugal winning this like 2-1. Or I'm gonna say 2-0. I don't think DR Congo will score, but I think this is gonna be a big reality check for some Portuguese people because I don't think Portugal are that great just off performances. And I think this is going to be like one of those where like, yes, Portugal win 2-0, but it's like you should be like not even just like how many goals you score, but performance-wise, you should be dominating DR Congo way more if you want to like try and go win the actual tournament. So, but I have Portugal getting 2 points or 2 goals there. Portugal, Uzbekistan is very interesting, but I'm gonna just have a 2-1. I'm on Uzbekistan to win. I just don't think it's gonna happen. And yeah, Portugal are probably just gonna dominate the game. I see Kusanov maybe getting a goal here from a header, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Then Colombia, DR Congo. I'm gonna say this is like a 3-0 bashing. Dear Congo, they don't have. I'm gonna say 1-0 because they don't really have like defensive problems. They don't have defensive errors. DR Congo, but they don't have anyone on the attack. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I think, is gonna lock up Luis Diaz. It's all on Luis Suarez if he wants to actually win anything. Next, I have Portugal, Colombia. Bro, I'm gonna do a crazy shot. I'm gonna go 2-2. I think this is a drawed game. I think they're both gonna try to go like band for band with each other. And I think Portugal, I think Colombia is really gonna show Portugal like how they're really not that great. And then DR Congo, Uzbekistan. This is basically whoever wants to try to make it out of the groups. I'm gonna have a 2-0 to Uzbek. I think that's fair, but either of these teams could win, honestly. I don't think it changed that much. Next, we also have a very interesting group here. England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. I think it's really going to be between, though, England and Croatia. And the first game, depending on how you predict it, is is determined by how you feel about Tuchel's call-ups. Even though I'm a Chelsea fan, and Levi Cole and Cole Palmer didn't get called up, I actually like the call-ups. I think it's important to not get that many egos and big stars in the dressing room, especially when they haven't been up to par this season. So leaving out Phil Foden, I think is fair. Leaving out Cole Palmer, I think is fair. I think there's also some other options that are very, very weird and kind of stupid. Like, I think Morgan Rogers should have definitely been called up. Like, I think he's been better than the player that did get called up, Elliot Anderson, who's on his team. Like, I think he's been better than Elliot Anderson. But they kind of play in different positions. And then Jed Spence getting called up over like Trent is crazy to me because Jed Spence, while yes, he might fit the system more, has been horrible this season. Just really, really bad. So I'm curious how England are going to play. I think they're going to be really good. But I don't know if I like the call-ups, but I think England are gonna run into a problem of not having like a player that like can take the game by the balls. Last Euros, while yes, they were horrible because they had Southgate and he actually did not know how to he put fucking Trent in midfield. Um he at least knew when to use like a superstar player and put him on in the 70th minute and they'll score. Like Cole Palmer, he would come on in the 60th minute or 70th minute and just score a goal or something or bring back whatever. If England get into a deficit, I don't know if they have that talent anymore to like really bring it back. Harry Kane's not really like that much of a big game player. Especially for a country, he's really not that much of a big game player. So I'm very interested to see how England do. Saying all that though, I'm gonna have them beating Croatia 2-1. I think Croatia's defense is really, really good. They have so much good young talent. I'm gonna say like Peter Suchik gets a goal here, and then England, I'm gonna say Harry Kane and I don't know, Harry Kane and Morgan Rogers. I'll say score here. Definitely. Ghana, Panama. I'm gonna just have this being a 1-1. Both of these teams are kind of horrible. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna have Panama losing like 4-1 to Croatia. I think Croatia are gonna dominate this game. You know what? I'm gonna say it's a 3-0 just because I think Croatia will keep a clean sheet. And then England, Ghana. I think this is a classic Tuchel 2-0 game where they just keep it like they rotate the squad, keep a clean sheet, and just dominate the game from minute 90 or from minute 1 to minute 90. And then Panama, England. I'm gonna say this is a. I think this is very similar 2-1 or 2-0 because against these worst teams, England don't really score high, but they don't concede. Like they just don't concede at all. That's like kind of the Thomas Tuchel way. So I think England are gonna just dominate from minute 1 to minute 90, 2-0, very, very clean. And then Croatia, Ghana. I think Croatia just dominate this game like 3. I'll just say 2-0. I'll say 2-1. I'll give Ghana a goal. I'll say Antoine Semenyo scores, but honestly, Semenyo for his national team is kind of horrible. I don't know why, though. And I think it's plain to say Ghana are not making it out of the groups because, brother, 1 point, like, that's kind of embarrassing. All right, let's save the predictions, though. And those are my group stage predictions. Let's see what the third place teams are, though. This is very interesting. So, that's disappointing. Austria. As the only third place teams to make it out of the groups are Sweden, Senegal, Ecuador, Egypt, Scotland, Paraguay, Uruguay, and Uzbekistan. If I had to change something, maybe I would change like just as like what team is better. I think Austria are better than Uzbekistan. I think Czechia might be better than Uzbek. Like they're kind of around the same level. Um, Bosnia is not better than Uzbekistan. I don't give a fuck. I would probably just change Uzbekistan and Austria, and probably get Uruguay out of here. But I think these are like the. I think most of these teams, I would be like, yeah, they're gonna make it out of the groups. Senegal, Ecuador, and Sweden. These are like three easy ones. I think Scotland definitely make it out. Egypt, I think definitely make it out because they're playing with fucking New Zealand. That's an easy 3 points at least, and then you can try to get a draw against Iran and who else is Belgium. Like I think a draw there is pretty easy. So yeah, I think that's a fine team. So save the best 13s and let's go to this bracket here. I'm actually really excited to see what this bracket is looking like. First off, we got Germany, Paraguay. This is a really interesting game. I think Germany just smoke them. Germany, Paraguay is interesting because they play kind of similar brands of football, but I think Germany's midfield is way better, and Germany are just gonna have like their attacking. I keep saying it, but their attacking talent, it's just true, is way better than Paraguay's. So I think Germany kind of easily win that game. France, Sweden is also a very interesting game. Gyökeres versus Mbappe, the two best strikers in the world. Obviously, I'm joking. Honestly, if you didn't think I was joking, I know who you are. I'm definitely gonna go France though. I think France just clearly dominates Sweden. Oh, this is an interesting game. Korea versus Canada. That is very interesting. I'm gonna go with Canada just because they're on home soil, but I could see Korea taking that pretty easily as well. I could really see that happening as well. Netherlands, Morocco. This is an also very interesting game. Netherlands, Morocco. I don't like Morocco that much. I really don't think they're that great. And I think they're coming into this World Cup with negative vibes. So I'm gonna go Netherlands, but I would not be shocked if Morocco made it through. Colombia, Croatia. I'm gonna go Croatia here. Ooh, could Colombia knock out Croatia? I could definitely see it happening. The problem is though, is Croatia's defense, I think, is just that good. I think it'll be enough to stop Colombia's offense. And in the midfield battle, I think Peter Sucic, I don't know why I love Croatian youngsters. I love Vuskovic. I love Gladiol. He's not really a youngster anymore, but I love Gladiol. I love Peter Sucic. I love that the striker that plays at Freiburg. I'm forgetting his name, bro. Uh he is same plays in the same team as Johan Manzambi, who is a fucking baller. I completely forgot, by the way. I did that underrated 11, and then as soon as I ended that video, I completely forgot about Johan Manzambi. I should have included him because that brother is so fucking good. He is so good. If I had to predict who's gonna be the next like Jan Diomande is already known, but he's already like a known Bundesliga youngster. If I had to predict who's gonna be the next Jan Diomande, which is like the next Bundesliga youngster that everyone rates, it's Manzambi because that brother is fucking incredible. Algeria, Spain. I think Spain, España definitely win that. Turkey, Ecuador. That is an interesting team or an interesting game. Turkey, Ecuador. The question is, what is better? Turkey's attack or Ecuador's defense? I'm gonna give it to Ecuador. I don't think Turkey have the players, even though they have Kenan Yildiz. I don't know if they have the players to beat a low block like that. Oh, I'm gonna give it to Turkey because I think Çalhanoğlu is gonna hit a crazy outside the box banger. He hits those like every other week for Inter. So I'm gonna give it to Turkey. I could see that going either way though. I could really see that going either way. Belgium, Uruguay. I think Belgium fucking destroy him. On the other side, Brazil, Japan. Ooh, that is interesting. You know, sadly enough, as much as I want to say Japan win it, I'm gonna go Brazil. I really want Japan to go through, but I think Brazil's just the better team, and I don't know what defenders are going to be able to beat Brazil's defenders. And it sucks that all their best attackers got injured. Like, it just sucks. Next, Cote d'Ivoire versus Norway. I tried to say Cote d'Ivoire are going to be an underdog, but I think Norway's beat them. It sucks to say, but like, who does Cote d'Ivoire have on defense? Let me look at this. Ivory Coast. Their last game was against Scotland when they won 1-0. It was a very good game, by the way. They have Kosono, who plays at Atalanta. He's actually decent. Wilfred Singo, who's decent. Ousmane Diomande, who plays at Sporting, who's good, but he's kind of mistake prone. I don't know, bro. They have Geladue as well. Are those players really going to be enough to stop Holland and Nusa and Odegaard and Hugo Strand Larsen and all those? I really don't think so. Sadly, if this happened though and Cote d'Ivoire actually won, I would I would cry. I would genuinely cry. If I'm not supporting any team, and there's really only 3 national teams I really want to see go far. It's USA, it's Japan, and it's Cote d'Ivoire. Those are the only 3. Obviously, I want certain players from the clubs I support to do well. I want Argentina to do well, so Valentin Barco do well. Nico Paz, I love watching Nico Paz. I love watching Enzo Fernandez. I want that team to do well. I want Ecuador to do well because they have Pacho and they have Caicedo. Who else? I want Belgium to do well just because they have Kevin De Bruyne, Lukaku, whatever. Jeremy Doku's a lot of fun to watch. I don't want those teams to do well, but I want those players to play well. But sorry, I just can't do it. I don't believe it. I just don't believe Cote d'Ivoire can do it. Mexico, Scotland, though, this is also an extremely interesting match. I think Scotland can break down Mexico's defense, and I don't think Mexico's attack is that great. I think Brian Gutierrez is a great player. I think Gilberto Mora is a great player. Other than that, though, maybe Raul Jimenez, but honestly, he needs a lot of service to play well. So Mexico don't really have that many good attackers that I'm all right, they're going to do well here. England, Uzbekistan, I think this could be a great game. I think Uzbekistan could honestly win this, but I'm going to go with England. Argentina versus Cape Verde. We go with Argentina, definitely. Oh my god. There's no way we actually allow this. There's no way this is allowed. I did not do this on purpose, by the way. USA versus Iran. That game would be fucking insane. You would actually need to get the entire fucking police force all across the USA and have them as security. Because this game would be fucking insane. I'll have USA take it, but oh my god, if this actually happens, that would be fun. There's no way that that's even allowed. There's actually no way it's even allowed for that to happen. There's literally no way. Switzerland, Egypt, I think Switzerland win. And then Portugal, Senegal. Honestly, close, but I don't really rate Senegal's defense. Obviously, I think Mamadou Sarr's a great player, but Mbaye is also really good, and that attacking talent's really good. Nicholas Jackson's a very good player. I have Portugal winning that, but it's super close. I think either team could win that. Going back to this side, Germany, France, that's going to be an incredible game. Just 2 extremely high off. France isn't a high offensive team, but just that's where their talent lies. In a midfield I have France going through. That's close, though. That is really, really close. Canada, Netherlands. I think Netherlands destroy Canada. I really don't think Canada are that great. Croatia versus Spain. This is really interesting, but I think Spain definitely take it. And then Turkey, Belgium. This is honestly very close. Turkey, Belgium. The thing is, let me look. The thing is Turkey really don't have a great defense. But Belgium aren't great either. But Belgium did beat us 5-2, so I'm going to say Belgium. I don't know, bro. Brazil versus Norway, Vinny versus Holland. I'm going to say Brazil win. I think just overall as a team, they're better. I like their manager more. I think Carlo Ancelotti was an incredible not signing. What's the appointment? Yeah, I think Brazil take that. Scotland, England is very interesting. That's if this game happens, that would be incredible. But I'm gonna go England on that one. I think Argentina absolutely fucking capitulate USA. I don't even know if that's the right way to use that word, but whatever. And then Switzerland, Portugal. I say Portugal take that. By the way, I've seen everyone predicting this. If this game actually happens in real life, that would be the most beautiful game of all time. That would be like literally perfect script. I mean, it would be more perfect if it was the final, Portugal versus Argentina in the final, and then Portugal win, and Ronaldo cements himself as either the second best player of all time or arguably the best. But God, I would literally cry if that happened. If we knew that Argentina were facing Portugal, and then I saw in the lineup Messi starting and Ronaldo starting, even though they're not who they used to be, they're both washed. I would literally cry. Like I'm literally getting emotional just thinking about it, which is crazy. Um, Going back to this side though, I think France definitely beat Netherlands. I think Netherlands are a good team with some very good talent. I just think France are better. I think they have a better manager. I think they have better players. I think they play a better, more suited style of football. Yeah, I think they're better than the Netherlands. Spain versus Belgium. I think Spain easily take that. Brazil versus England. Hmm. This is interesting because I feel like Brazil and England have very similar stories going into the World Cup. They have some very controversial call-ups, obviously leaving out João Pedro and then leaving out Cole Palmer. I guess England has a lot more, but very controversial call-ups with foreign managers. That is interesting. I think England do it though, because I think Thomas Tuchel and both managers are very like knockout managers, I feel like, who are like really good at knowing exactly like who to start, who to play, like what's the mentality you need to go into this knockout game. They're both perfect at that. This game could go either way, but I think England take it. I just think Thomas Tuchel's a better manager. I think England's players, like their starting 11, might be a bit better. Yeah, I think England take that. That's a really close game though. And then Argentina, Portugal. I would love to say Portugal go through just for the story, but I think Argentina. Ooh, that's actually close. I'll say Argentina take it. Oh, I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna go with Portugal, but that is really close. I just don't think Argentina are gonna be that motivated to do much during this tournament. I really don't think they're gonna be that motivated. I think here, France versus Spain, I think either team could go through. This is really tough. France versus Spain. Mbappe versus Yamal. You know what? I'm gonna say France win, but I think this will be a very similar situation to like Luka Modric in 2018, where it's like Lamine Yamal carry sesh, and then like it's like it's a 4-3 game, and Yamal scores a hat trick or some shit, or he gets like three GA during that game, and like that's really tough. That's really tough. And then England Portugal, I say England win that. I'm gonna say France win the entire thing, and Spain get third. Those are, let's just say, make sure I save the bracket. Thank you. To remind you though, do you want to? Okay, thank you. If we go to leagues, my leagues, the Boxler. Just to remind you though, if you want to challenge my predictions and see if you are better than me, go to survive the league. Go to leagues. You can just go to all leagues, type it out, the Boxler League. It's right here. That's how you spell it. As it says, you're not better than the YouTuber. This is my account. I'm going to be using those predictions. So, see if you can beat me. We'll see. But yeah, that's going to be my predictions. Thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys. Make sure to join the league, okay? I want to see your guys' predictions. I want to see if you guys beat me. I don't think you can, but I want to see if it happens, okay? I want to see if it happens. Thank you guys for watching.